What is up, everyone? Welcome to the finals, round 9 of the Battle for the Bridge 2025, the largest pre-modern event in the Pacific Northwest to date. Let's get into those deck lists. First up should be no surprise considering he won the semi-final match that was on camera last round, and that is Shane C with Sligh. We're not going to run through the full list because it is pretty stock. I will call out some unique things in the 2 of Goblin Patrols and running a 3rd Barbarian ring. Beyond that though, it's your typical stock list. In the main, in the side, he does have 3 Goblin Cadets for the Creature Light matchups, which are also a little bit spicy. And I guess a couple Earthquakes too. I've been seeing those appear more. Obviously you want to take out your Jackal Pups when you bring those in, but overall a really cool list. It's obviously done very well. He's in the finals. But before we see some lightning bolts to the face, who is he playing against? Next up is Robert L with blue-black Psychatog, aka Dr. Teeth. We've also seen him several times on camera at this point. I believe this is his 3rd appearance, making it all the way to the finals with a really sweet deck. If you're not familiar with Psychatog, it is a blue-black control deck till it lands a Psychatog that could potentially one-shot a player. That is his main win con in the main deck. He is running one Wonder as the 5th creature, but usually not looking to play that. It's usually in the graveyard to give the Psychatog evasion. In the sideboard, he does have an alt win con with a 1 of Zombie Infestation, but by and large this deck is looking to control the board, protecting its only win con in the always happy Psychatog. And yeah, it's a super sweet list. This is going to be a very fun match, control versus aggro. So let's just get into it. And here we go. Shane is on the left, Robert is on the right, and I can understand why you might be confused because Robert, playing Black Psychatog, has the often seen Mog Fanatic burn playmat, and well, Shane has a really sweet Philadelphia Premodern altar of what looks like Oath of Druids with, I'm assuming, some kind of pencil. I've never been to Philly, so I'm probably insulting a lot of people right now by not recognizing what that is. But looks like both players are thinking about their keepable 7s, and we are off. Important here to start things off for Robert. Important, one of the best, if not the best, card selection options here in Premodern. Being able to look at a good amount of cards for 1 mana. It is sorcery speed, which does kind of limit what he's going to do. He does like what's on... Oh, actually, he does not like what's on top, so he is going to go in and shuffle that and then draw on Shane's keep. Shane playing out a mountain for turn. And a Jackal Pup, the quintessential start for burn. Now, I tried to pronounce those, the artist of those mountains before, and someone in the comments was very nice to give me the correct pronunciation. Good Robert Memory draw off the portent. And I believe it's Tom Bonnerstrand. I'm still maybe butchering that. Either way, one of my favorite mountain arts. Alright, we got a Polluted Delta from Robert, and go. He's going to be playing a lot of draw go here until he does eventually land a Psychatog. Jackal Pup getting in for 2. I do wonder if this Jackal Pup was signed by everyone at the event. At least at some event. Okay, we're going to fetch here. Bloodstained Mire, get another mountain. And looks like Robert is going to fetch as well. Okay, taking 3 from an Incinerate, plus 1 from a fetch. He is using paper, not the dice. Though I do have to say the dice is a little hard to tell anyways, but currently having taken 6 damage, 1 from fetching, 2 from the Jackal Pup, 3 from Incinerate. Alright, and is going to Impulse on Shane's end step. Now turn 3 can be a big turn for the burn deck, so Robert may be wanting to save any counter magic if he has any for that turn. Ball Lightning is a hell of a card. 6 damage for 3 mana is nothing to scoff at. And yeah, Robert again just... Oh, does have a swamp now. He does have some amount of removal, including hand attack, which he will use this duress. See if Shane has much in the way. Oh, there's a fire blast. There's 2 ball lightnings and an incinerate. Gonna take the fire blast. Makes sense. Free spells are dangerous. If Robert ever gets down to a low enough life total, those free fire blasts can just end games. And Shane can be very nice and play open for us. He's gonna play out the barbarian ring. And even though Robert knows about it, I feel like you still have to go for the ball lightning. Oh, no, opting to not go for the ball lightning here. Okay, there's a Goblin Patrol. 2-1 with Echo for a single red. Essentially acting as the 5th and 6th copy of Jackal Pup. There's just a 1-drop threat that has 2 power. Having to pay 2 red over the course of over the course of 2 turns is not great, but against a creature light deck like Robert, definitely does add up, especially since Robert is running a decent amount of counter magic. Probably bringing in more removal. I imagine the zombie infestation is also coming in, as it can block pretty much everything Shane is swinging in with. I can't quite remember if Robert has E-Plagues in the side. I'm sure he does. I actually like bringing in E-Plagues in against Burn, partially just to name Elemental. Those ball lightnings are not so great when they die on due to state-based effects when you cast them. Yes, they have 6 power, but 1 toughness is definitely a problem. Okay, so Shane also then firing off an Incinerate in response to this impulse. And Robert is starting to get pretty low. I believe he's at 9. Again, not being able to read the paper and not using the dice makes it tricky. You may notice, I think, that the quality is not quite as crisp as what you're used to on the channel. I mentioned it before, but I was actually not at this event. I was unfortunately not able to attend. I do want to make sure I make it to the next one. So the TOs devised their own recording setup, and for a first pass, it is really good. They did an awesome job with it. I was very happy to take the footage, edit it as best I could, be able to provide commentary for you guys. And yeah, I mean, it's a learning process for sure. And it seems like people have been enjoying it, so that's awesome. But yeah, stuff like the autofocus from the webcam and that kind of stuff is just stuff you remember to do the next time. There's always a learning process to this. Alright, so Robert with a Portent didn't like what he saw on top and is just passed back. He's going to draw a card off of the Portent trigger on Shane's upkeep. Alright, Shane remembering to pay the Echo cost for the Patrol. It does turn off his ability to cast any ball lightnings, which is interesting. Okay, there's a Smother on the Patrol. Yeah, that makes sense. Take another 2. You find a Bolt. Oh, there's a Mog Fanatic. Again, funny that Robert is playing with the Mog Fanatic playmat, but is playing blue-black control. It's almost like a control player running red sleeves. Alright. Portent on Robert's turn. He's going to need to find something soon. We are getting dangerously low in life total. I believe he's at least at 7, maybe a little lower. 7 would make sense. Shane representing another 3 damage on the board at instant speed if he so chooses. Well, if once he has mana to pay for Barbarian Ring, but actually, sorry, he needs 1 more card in the graveyard for Barbarian Ring to function properly. Not counting the Mogfanac, you could sack to deal 1. But if this is a burn spell, he potentially... It's a mountain. Okay, so we're going to go for the Ball Lightning plan here. There's a counterspell, as to be expected. Robert does have a Smother up as well. Alright, there's a Smother on Jackal Pup. Just take 1. Drops to 6. But now does have Threshold. So that Barbarian Ring is now live. Still need a mana to activate it, but... I'm not sure if Robert has a good out here. The Bog Fanatic can still just chip away. I think he's got at least 2 Circular Logics in hand. Maybe he has 3 Circular Logics in hand. So he can at least counter the Ball Lightning, but unfortunately, not having a way to take care of this Mog Fanatic, not having a way to just win the game, really. Circular Logics, amazing cards if you have a Psychatog play. Right, there's the Ball Lightning, which will get Circular Logic, hard cast. Swing for 1. Down to... Must be 4. Well, I mean, it could be 3, I guess. Shane does not have a mana yet to activate the Barbarian Ring. Just gonna say go. And Robert looking for something, anything here. I believe he drew a Proxied card. Okay, there's an AK. I don't believe he's cast an AK yet this turn, so just, or this game, so just draws 1. Draws a counterspell. It's not nothing. And is just passing back to Shane, and we might be closing things out here. Alright, take 1. Jackal Pup. That is interesting. Maybe Shane not wanting to sacrifice his onboard resources until he absolutely has it. Alright, tapping out for the Circular Logic. What is the other card in Shane's hand? Nope, just going to pass back. Robert must be at 4, then. Okay, there's a Gush. Floating 2 blue to cast it. Still no Psychatogs. He's seen a lot of cards, but no threats. Unless that proxy card is a Psychatog. He could only have 1 real copy right now. It's possible. In his deck photo, he does have the full 4, but maybe you could have procured them afterwards. I'm actually trying to remember if we even saw a proxy card in his last games. Maybe we did. It's been a bit of a process to commentate on all these games. Doing them only once a week means this is week 9 of this tournament. So thank you guys for sticking with me. I know especially the guys in Seattle who were at this event. Very excited to the resolution of this tournament that did start in July. So we're a bit out from that. Okay, land for turn. Gonna use one of the floating mana to smother. Mogfanac will just shoot you. Still can hold up counterspell. Pass back. And Shane deciding I'm going to look at what's in the graveyard already. How much counter magic have you used? 2 circular logics, 1 counter spell, it looks like. Did Shane draw a relevant card? Now, there could be a stifle in Robert's hand. That might be what Shane is concerned about. Stifling the activated ability of Barbarian Ring would be kind of catastrophic. Okay, there's a Cursed Scroll. No, Robert here updating the number of cards in his graveyard. Uses that wheel to do that. Okay, that will get counterspelled. Say go. And I am, again, just very curious as to what life total Robert is at. It must not be 2. That's all I can say. Okay, there's a Gush. Floating 2. Blue. And if it's true, Robert has stabilized quite well then. Still needs to find his endgame threats. But maybe found it off this Gush? Alright, gonna... Pulse. Now still floating. Should still be floating a blue. Not sure. Oh, I guess so. Yeah, wanting to float the colorless off of the Pain Land. Still 1 blue floating. Island for turn. There's a swamp to AK. I believe that's the second AK. No mana floating now. Just gonna say go. And shields down a little bit here from Robert, but Shane drawing that card looking like he does not have it. I'm not sure what he could be drawing. I mean, lands would be the obvious thing. But the burn deck usually doesn't want to hold on to its lands. I'm going to play it out in case you got multiple Fire Blasts or that sort of thing. Even being able to hard cast a Fire Blast is not the worst. Alright, tapping 2. Do we got another Incinerate? Nope. Floating 2 red to Fire Blast. Oh, the foil in hand. I couldn't quite catch what that card said. But yes, that is going to get foiled. There's a mountain. Say go. Alright. Still no Psychatog here for Robert. Just going to say go. I do believe doesn't have much going on in hand, though. I have a Wonder. Okay, there's a Portent. Island for turn, I'm going to tap it to play the Portent. There's the Psychatog. So, I'm going to be keeping this and this order. Psychatog on top, Cephalid Coliseum on the bottom. I'm not sure what the middle card is. Is he opting to not put Psychatog on his draw? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. He will draw it next turn. So if that's a interactive spell, like a counter spell or something like that, that does make sense to have that be on top. Well, now he's just shuffling them, so I have no idea which one's on top. But at the very least, we'll see Psychatog next turn. And if Shane is not able to end the game by then, there's another Barbarian Ring. Okay, so Robert has to be at 4, right? Okay, we're going to sack both. And there's a dog on top. Shane takes down game number 1. And here we are in game number 2. I guess I was right at Robert being at 4 life, just barely outside the range of the Barbarian Ring. But 2 Barbarian Rings. That is enough to get there. So Shane has probably brought in some amount of Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, whatever options are available to him. Robert has probably brought in Zombie Infestation and some amount of removal. And it looks like Shane is mulliganing here, so we're going to cut to when he has a keepable hand. Alright, Shane looking for 6 here. And yes, looking at both players' sideboards, Shane does have 4 Pyroblasts. Maybe even bringing in the Goblin Cadets. I don't know if Price of Progress is worth it, really. Probably not. Robert just has the Underground Rivers, really. Robert, though, having 2 Hydro Blasts, 2 Blue Elemental Blasts, and does have those E-Plagues. Like I said, I do like to bring those in to take care of Ball Lightnings. Maybe a little too situational, but especially when I'm playing mostly a mono black deck, don't really have a lot of options. Also has 2 Powder Kegs, and of course has Zombie Infestation that could come in. Alright, Shane trying to decide what card to put back. Has a couple options, look like. Alright, just an island go for Robert here. Fetch land here from Shane. I don't think it's reasonable, but it would be a fun transform to sideboard to add some black sideboard cards into burn. I don't know exactly what you would add. Duress, maybe. There's a Jackal Pup. Shane again with the quintessential Sligh start. And Robert with the quintessential control start. 2 islands, go. Alright, another fetch here from Shane. Swinging in for 2 first. And there's a Mog Fanatic. Impulse on end step for Robert. In response, we are going to fetch here. Shane playing around Stifle. It's smart. There's really no reason to fetch unless you need to. Unless your opponent taps out. So Robert on 18. Players tied currently. Pass to Robert's turn. Finds another impulse. Alright, playing a swamp for a duress. Does Shane have anything he wants to fire off here? Surprisingly, I have not seen a lightning bolt. There's an incinerate, a fire blast, sulfuric vortex, and mountain. I imagine that sulfuric vortex is going to be the thing to go. Yeah. Robert does have annuls in his sideboard, but I don't think you bring in annuls just for sulfuric vortex. It is a very dangerous card. Blue-black, totally not having many ways to deal with it. Basically just Chain of Vapor. And then countering it if it gets cast again. Swinging for 3 here. Land for turn. And you're to go. Alright, we are going to Impulse. In response, might as well just cast that Incinerate. And the Fire Blast getting hyper aggressive. Wow. To me, that telegraphs another land in hand for Shane. But that is a very aggressive Fire Blast. He does have 2 creatures on the board. He's just wanting to race here. I mean, Robert is already down to 8. But there is a Psychatog in that impulse. It's not very big yet. Doesn't have a lot of cards in the graveyard. But it at least blocks creature threats on board currently. And I wonder if you just play it out just to deter direct damage. Oh, Shane. Nicely pointing out, hey, you should also use those dice. Alright, looks like in game 2 we'll get the dice. Again, I believe, yeah, Robert is at 8. Has a fetch land in hand, not really wanting to use it, and I understand why. If he did draw the Psychatog, which I think he did, playing that, having the fetch land, not nothing. There's also a gush. I don't imagine you would gush here. Alright, tapping 3 for the Psychatog. Say go. This does make it very difficult for Shane to get damage in now. Alright, he did have another land, that is why he is aggressive with the Fire Blast. However, if he top decks a Ball Lightning, that's problematic. Needs to hit one more land drop. Alright, just gonna pass it back. Really now needing to find direct damage and opportunities to cast that direct damage. Does Robert have another Psychatog in hand? I think that might be his back card. Right, floating 2 blue to gush. Draw 2. I've actually just found a third Psychatog. Oh, okay. That's, yeah. Definitely has one. Does have a lot of cards in hand. And for turn here, that one of the islands. Tap a black. Still has 2 blue floating currently. Smothering something. Or just casting another Psychatog. That is pretty good. Does block Shane's entire team right now. Okay, deciding maybe against it. Does still have the 2 blue floating. I'm not sure. Might have another gush. Not really sure the benefit of gushing here. I mean, he could hard cast it, I guess. That doesn't seem like a good plan. Really in the tank here, which is totally fine. This is the finals. Burn is not an easy matchup for control decks by any means. Having access to free spells like Fire Blast, haste creatures like Ball Lightning. Okay, is going to play out the second Psychatog. I believe that's correct. Oh, and actually swinging in with 1. Okay. Just wanting to chip away at the life total a little bit. Psychatog math is kind of interesting. Of course, discarding a card from your hand gives it +1/+1 till end turn. Then you can remove 2 cards in your graveyard, and it gets +1/+1 till end turn. So every card in hand is technically 1.5 damage. Gonna fetch here, drops to 7. And Robert may be wanting to chip in more than just the 1 Psychatog damage, depending on block declared. He could also just have lethal here. Alright, floating 2 blue, 2 gush. Every gush is, I believe, 7 points of damage. You get the gush itself, the 2 cards you draw, the 2 islands you bring back to your hand. Alright, pitching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we gonna see lethal here? 7. Alright, pitching 7. Then still has 2 blue. Oh, we're getting more dice. Never a good sign. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, 13, 14 points total coming in. Still has 2 blue though. And 2 cards in hand. Yep, 2 blue floating. Yeah, 13 points of damage buff, plus the 1 Psychatog's normal power. Then going to impulse here, using those 2 blue. Alright, so that's 15. 16, 17, 18. Exactsies. Alright, yeah, that is 18 points of damage. Obviously, Shane declared no blocks, so we are going to a game number 3. And here we are in game number 3. Always good when a match can go to 3 games, both decks can do other things, especially in the finals of the tournament. Everything comes down to this. The whole day, 9 rounds. Both players probably exhausted, both mentally and physically. Who is going to get there? And Shane actually mulliganing here. Looks like Robert is going to keep. So we'll cut to when Shane has a cool hand. Shane looking for 6 here. Being very aggressive with mulligans. I would be curious as to what the last card his hand was. If it was the ball lightning. I don't think it would have been relevant. I also think he maybe might have punted a little bit by not blocking the Psychatog, not realizing how much damage that thing can actually deal in one turn if left unattended. The Mogfanac very easily could have blocked it and then shot Robert for 1. But of course then Robert wouldn't have gone off on all that damage until he had it unblocked. That's one of the reasons why having the 2 Psychatogs was very important. Alright, for the 3rd time, turn 1 Jackal Pup here for Shane. Looks like it's actually a nice signed copy as well, which is sweet. Alright, Portent here from Robert. We did see the Blue Elemental Blast come in game 2. He didn't end up using it, he just ended up pitching it at the end. But obviously not telegraphing that he has any turn 1 interaction here, opting instead just for the card selection. A little unclear what he saw off the top, but looking at his hand, seeing exactly what he needs. Alright, does not like anything. Is in fact just going to go for the shuffle. And then draw on Shane's upkeep. Shortcutting a little bit here though, as long as Robert remembers to draw. Right, taking 2 off the pup. Third match, same as the first. Gonna draw off that portent. And draw off return. Nope, gonna play the Mog Fanatic. Taking a point of damage here. Are we seeing a bolt as well? Curse Scroll. Alright, recurable damage. Very good. Okay, we are gonna fetch here. Robert now down to 17. Grab an island. Obviously has something he wants to play here. Right. 2 blue. Powder keg. Yep. How about a 3 for 1? That's pretty good. Alright, mountain for turn. Get in for 3. Tap 3. Are we spinning the wheel of... No, a vortex. Well, that can definitely end games as well. Alright, both players will be taking 2 on each of their respective upkeeps. So... Okay, it is going to put a counter on Powder Keg. And take 2 off of... Yeah. I believe Robert is down to 12. He is going to crack this. In response, Mog will ping him for 1. And that Curse Scroll is in the bin as well. Powder Keg does not hit enchantments, but it does hit artifacts. Alright, there is... Okay, yes, Robert does catch that. Good. There is Dr. Teeth himself. Smiling like he's never had a bad day in his life. When he's out this early with no blockers on the field, it is looking pretty good for Robert at this point. Yes, he is down to 10, but he's got his namesake card on the field. A decent grip full of cards. Looks like 5 cards in hand, depending on what they are. This could go south very quickly. Alright, there's Incinerate to the face. Makes sense. And then there's a Fire Blast. Is that lethal? I think that's lethal, right? Unless he has a response. Oh no, is he down to... He's down to 1. Oh no. Alright, there's a Gush. That's a very good card in this instance. Can Robert get to 15? Looks like we are going to try. 2 blue floating. Just going to use that straight away to Impulse. Finds another Gush. I don't know if that's what he took. Can't use it though. Doesn't have the... We are swinging in. Actually, only needs to get to 13 for Robert to die off of his own. Sulfuric Vortex. I think he does have enough. Yeah, this is lethal. Pretty sure. Yep, that is the handshake. Robert takes it down in 3. He's your new Battle for the Bridge 2025 champion. Those were some great games. Burn is a lot harder to play than people give it credit for. That is for sure. And I feel like those games kind of reflected that. Shane doing a very good job, but congrats again to Robert for taking it down, becoming the new champion. I can't wait for this tournament to come back next year. It should be a ton of fun. I'm going to do my best to be there. Thanks to all you guys for watching all these episodes, make it all the way to the end. If you haven't yet somehow though, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That is the best way to help what I am doing. Also, of course, give this video a like so YouTube knows to recommend it to other people. And if you've been subscribed for a while, consider joining the Patreon. You may notice all the wonderful names on screen currently. Those are my patrons. You guys are all amazing and you make this channel possible. Money from the Patreon goes towards gear upgrades for higher quality videos, travel expenses so I can actually make it to this tournament next time, and of course just helping me make more videos in general. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you next time.